It's 2026. You walk into your local grocery store, grab a loaf of bread, milk, and eggs. You hand the cashier a $20 bill, the same one you've used your whole life. She looks at it like you just handed her Monopoly money. Sorry, we don't take those anymore. Sounds like a dystopian movie? That future is no longer science fiction. It's the trajectory we're already on. The only reason America has been able to print endless money, run trillion-dollar deficits, and maintain global dominance for 50 years is one secret deal made in the Saudi desert in 1974. A deal that turned black gold into green paper and forced the entire world to finance the American empire. It's called the Petrodollar. And right now, in May 2026, that system is breaking. This is the untold story of how America conquered the world with a handshake and why that handshake is about to cost you everything. August 15th, 1971. President Richard Nixon looks straight into the camera. I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold. The gold window slammed shut forever. For decades, the dollar was king because it was backed by gold. But America had printed far more dollars than gold to fund wars and social programs. Foreign nations started demanding their gold back. Nixon said no. Then came the 1973 Yom Kippur War. OPEC retaliated with an oil embargo. Oil prices quadrupled. Gas lines stretched for blocks. Americans were literally fighting at the pump. Inflation went nuclear. America now had a currency backed by nothing and the world's most important commodity being used as a weapon against it. Something had to change. Enter Henry Kissinger. In 1974, he flew to Saudi Arabia with a deal so elegant it felt like a mafia offer no one could refuse. Your Majesty, you sit on the largest oil reserves on Earth, but also in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods. Here's the deal. You sell all your oil in US dollars only. You take those dollars and recycle them into US Treasury bonds. In return, we give you the most powerful military protection on the planet. Anyone touches Saudi Arabia, they go through us. The Saudis agreed. The rest of OPEC followed. The petrodollar was born. And here's the genius part almost no one explains. The loop that made America untouchable. Every nation on Earth needs oil. They must first buy US dollars. Oil exporters get flooded with dollars. They recycle them back into American debt and markets. America borrows that money cheaply, funds massive deficits in the military that protects the oil fields. A perfect self-reinforcing cycle. America didn't need to own the oil, it just needed the world to need dollars to buy it. This was the exorbitant privilege, the ability to print money and make the world pay for it. But empires don't stay unchallenged. Saddam Hussein switched Iraqi oil sales to euros in 2000. 3 years later, full-scale invasion. After the regime fell, oil sales immediately returned to dollars. Gaddafi proposed a gold-backed African dinar backed by 143 tons of Libyan gold. In 2011, NATO intervened. Gaddafi was executed. His gold disappeared. The plan died with him. Even in 2026, Venezuela, holder of the world's largest proven oil reserves, tried to escape the dollar. The result? Maduro captured, and American companies invited to rebuild the oil sector. The message was crystal clear. Challenge the dollar and the empire strikes back. Then Russia invaded Ukraine. The West didn't just sanction Russia, they froze $300 billion of its reserves and kicked it out of SWIFT. It hurt Russia, but it scared every central banker on Earth. China started dumping US treasuries and buying record gold. Russia and China now settle most trade in yuan and rubles. Saudi Arabia openly said it's open to selling oil in other currencies. India pays for Russian oil in rupees. BRICS nations are building parallel systems. The dollar's share of global reserves has collapsed from 72% in 2001 to under 58% today. Central banks bought over 1,000 tons of gold in 2024 alone. And oil's dominance, 1 in 4 cars sold globally in 2025 was electric. The foundation itself is shifting. The ultimate betrayal came from the kingdom that helped create the system. Crown Prince MBS watched America call Saudi Arabia a pariah, hesitate when Iran attacked their oil fields, and grow unreliable. So he turned east. China rolled out the red carpet in Riyadh. In 2023, Saudi officials publicly declared they're open to any currency for oil. They joined BRICS. The 50-year marriage is over. The petrodollar just lost its anchor. While the world de-dollarizes, America's internal math is exploding. Over $35 trillion in debt. Interest payments now exceed the entire U.S. defense budget. We are in a full debt spiral. The Fed will be forced to print. But this time, the world is no longer soaking up the inflation. When those trillions of offshore dollars come flooding back home looking for real assets, we get the reflux. Your rent doesn't go up 30% by accident. Eggs at $6 aren't temporary. This is the new baseline. The petrodollar isn't dead yet, but it's dying. We are entering a multipolar world of currency blocks, friendshoring, and higher prices. The era of cheap imports and effortless American dominance is ending. So what should you do? Stop measuring your wealth in dollars. Start measuring purchasing power. Hold physical gold and silver, 5 to 15% of net worth. Small allocation to Bitcoin, 1 to 5%. As digital gold, cash flowing real assets. Farmland, rental property, commodity producers. Good fixed-rate debt becomes your friend in inflation. Most important, build real skills and strong community. The American empire got 50 extraordinary years thanks to one desert handshake. That handshake is broken. The question is no longer if the system changes, but whether you'll be on the right side when it does. Drop your thoughts below. Do you think the dollar survives, or are we watching the beginning of the end? If you want more unfiltered deep dives into the systems that actually run the world, like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications. We're just getting started.